What they do, what they do. How y'all doing out there, tribe?
Hello.
Aces and Jewels.
Yes.
Hopefully you all had a great week.
They did.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
And so today we're back with another one.
And another one.
Another spicy one today.
Listen.
Okay. So what you got, T?
I'm just happy I made my appointment to go see my therapist. I wanted to share that with everyone.
Okay, great.
Okay, but
So,
back to
right.
Listen, I'm over here cheesing like I'm finna go to Candyland. But go ahead.
That's what's up.
Hey, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm happy.
What's today's topic?
So
T?
today's topic, I forgot. Okay, sorry. When does the wall of reality hit?
When does it hit?
When does it hit?
That's a good one.
And you actually came up with this topic.
That's a good one.
It's a good one.
So,
yes.
Yeah. What they do. This your boy DP.
This your girl T.
And we're the Geminis Gemz, representing for the Geminis across the world, giving our own Miami perspective.
For sure. So
you can follow us on all podcast platforms at Geminis-Gems.
Also follow us on Instagram, Geminis_Gems, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Geminis Gems.
Hey, make sure you like, follow, you comment, and you subscribe.
Yes.
And make sure when you type it in, it's Geminis with the S, Gems with a Z. And what we do, T?
Drop them gems.
Drop them gems. All right, we back.
All right.
So we got a juicy one for y'all today. All right.
I'm over here just cheesing.
So when does the wall of reality hit?
Yes.
So what you got, T?
So for me personally, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel that when reality hit, partly when my bank account at zero, just partly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
See, hold on, time out.
Go ahead.
I got a good one for this one. So it's not when your bank account hit zero, because yours never hit zero, right?
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So it's when a certain amount of money
Yes.
isn't in that particular
Exactly.
account.
It hurts my feelings.
I know.
So to me, it's still considered zero.
Okay.
All right.
I feel you. I'm the same
So
way.
when reality hit is when you worry about other people, and I could have saved so much money. So you know when reality hit, when you look at that bank account and you said, you scroll up, go through that statement, I could have went without that, I could have went without this and that. That's when that shit really hurts. And guess what? It really wasn't even for you. Like it wasn't for me. And so all that money that I spent, all that money I could have saved, all that time, all the fun I took away from myself, from my kids, from my house. Maybe I also took that away from people who probably really need it. But I'm not going to dwell on that.
Right.
Right? Okay. Get out my feelings.
Right.
Okay.
Get out your feelings.
Get out your feelings, T.
Okay.
All
So
right.
what I wrote down, basically the wall of reality, and when it hits is when the fun is over.
When the fun is over.
Yeah. When thoughting is not a part of the agenda.
I have a question if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
You can't have that thought moment with one person? Like you can't role play? Like I'm all into
Well,
role playing, so
Right. So
Yes.
I'm saying the wall of reality. So this
Okay.
is the frame of mind I'm thinking.
all
of.
right.
It's when it's just like this. I'm gonna make it into an example.
Okay.
That final exam or that paper you have to turn in or the test you got to study for, right?
Yes.
When you know you didn't study all week, but you know you need to pass the test.
Right.
Right. So all of a sudden, last ninth hour, you stand up to 7 o'clock in the morning to finish the paper,
Gotcha.
to study your last, test questions or whatever, the last minute.
Okay.
So when it comes down to the reality with people, to me, it's one of those, hey, now I gotten older in life.
Gotcha.
And I haven't accomplished this. So that's why I said, and that's the frame of mind I'm thinking of.
Okay.
A mind that I'm thinking of. And so that's why I said when the fun is over.
Gotcha.
So around the ages, let's say from 20, from like 18 to 29. That's when you would sit up there and be like, okay, it's time to buckle down. So I'm gonna tell you what my grandma told me and my friends. She's like, at the age of 25, you're going to see a lot of people either go two lanes. She said they're gonna either go to a lane where they're gonna try to do better for themselves, or they just gonna go into the lane of just slowfulness. You know what I'm saying? The Bible call it slugger, right? So you're going to just go into a slowfulness pace.
All right.
So you're going to stay in the same, you're going to stay doing the same thing and never try to change to go for better. So I remember telling my friends this, and actually it took place because we was just heading into the age of 25, and that's exactly what happened.
Right.
Some friends, they started to tighten up on getting better jobs, buckling down, trying to establish themselves, and then the other ones, they stayed just having fun. And that wasn't getting them nowhere, but they just stayed in that lane.
Right.
So that's what I'm coming into when I think about that wall of reality. Like, man, I gotta do better. And for men, I know I think my granddad said around 35 years old, you got to make a life-changing choice, because the course that you was already on, you didn't go nowhere with it. So when you in your 20s, you can make mistakes. You can have these high car notes and stuff like that. And that's what money. And then when you get in your 30s, you got to buckle down. And if you haven't reached like that wall of maturity, in your 40s, you lost cause at that point.
Okay.
So the reason for selecting fun, you know, when you over the fun and that thought stage done went out, the partying stage kind of faded away. Now you're trying to buckle down and settle with someone, and it's kind of hard to, because the people that you was running into that had like good things going for themselves, now they're kind of tied down, you know, or they're with other people, or they're on a newer level, and they're trying to go somewhere with that.
All right.
So what you got to say with that?
So what came to mind were my two kids.
Okay.
So it kind of, reality hit for me when my daughter was born and she was 2 years old, and I had someone keep calling me mommy. And I was like, why are you still following me? Like, I was young, and my mom was like, you're her mother. I said, I am a mother.
Yep.
And to be honest, it took 2 years after me giving birth for me to I would never forget this feeling. I said, how old are you? She said, 2. And I said, what? Mommy. I said, she is still calling me mommy. So I kind of had to mature fast because I had a child. To me, it was at a young age. So I was a mother at a young age. So reality hit when I had my first child keep calling me mother. And so I was doing my thing. I was still enjoying life. At the time, of course, keep that separate from people probably didn't know I had a child, because I was just that, discreet of when it comes to motherhood with that. But now that I have a son, and I thought about this today at work, I was like, the role that I play, and I'm speaking probably for thousands, other millions of people out there, like, I have a daughter and a son. So I have a daughter that's looking up to me for this role. Then I have a son that people always say, oh my gosh, mom, you the first girlfriend that he's going to encounter. And I'm like, shoot. So now I have to really be mindful of what I do, what I say, how I act, how I dress. It's pressure because you have so many eyes looking at you. And it's like, when can I not be perfect? No one is perfect, but you have to put that that smile on, like, come on, kids. Like, I hype my kids up. Like, they think I'm probably the craziest Looney Tune I am. But when I get in that shower, I know I release it all out because I don't want my kids to see how I really feel. Mm-hmm. So when reality hit, when them kids keep calling me mommy, 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 mommy. I love them, but mommy, mommy, mommy.
Right. And so with that, you will want to bring, so when the reality hit now, because they're looking at you, your dating choices have to become better.
Oh, boy.
Right?
Yes.
Who you bring around your kids, you get what I'm saying, is one of the things that you have to like really pay attention to, like,
right?
Because the reality of having a child,
exactly,
and that's a good thing, because sometimes what happens is you may start off like dating just random guys. Now you got to think about a dad like figure for both,
right?
A person that'll be able to kind of date the daughter to understand that the man does this, that, and the third,
exactly,
and for the son, it will be, a man that walks a particular direction.
Right.
So yeah, that's how the wall of reality hits, even when it comes down to the kids. Like for me, I want to make sure my son is around positive people when he's with me.
Right.
Even though him and his mom, my son's mom and I are not together.
Okay.
If I put him around somebody, they're gonna just as much as me protect,
right,
love, and care.
Yes.
My little one as well as I would do theirs.
Right.
Now, that's what I have to realize. Like, man, I can't play around when it comes down to, selecting a mate.
Right.
Or just being like dating someone. I know one guy, he was dating this girl, and I think they were dating for about 5 years.
Okay.
And he only saw a picture of her son.
Oh, how old was the son?
The son was 5.
Okay.
She didn't want to have anybody around her son unless she was married, because she wasn't with the dad. So that's what he was telling me. And I was like, for real? He's like, bro, I was dating her for a minute, and the only thing I saw was a picture of her son.
So how did he feel?
He didn't feel no type of way.
Are they married or no?
No, not at the time, because they were just like, they had gotten into, it was a fun relationship.
Okay.
I think she was Brazilian, he's Black American, so it was like something fun.
Gotcha. All right.
So it was something nice, but
all right,
that's why they was having fun like that.
Okay, gotcha.
And she just said it. Nobody's gonna ever meet my son until I get married.
Right.
And then I introduced and stuff like that, and I thought that was unique.
Yeah.
Especially around, because you got kids. What's your next one, T?
Cause just to add, because I saw like Steve Harvey Think Like a Man. And in his book, I read the book, saw the film numerous of times. He was like, his opinion, he feel that you should introduce the kids right away just to get it out. Because he was like, what if you invest in so many months, years with a guy, and then boom, you finally let the guy meet your kid or kids, and now they're not compatible, or, it's not a perfect match. So you just basically wasted your investment in him.
I don't know about that one, because if I don't meet the kids, it shouldn't be a bother to the relationship. It's I would say this. Let's say 6 months within the relationship, he doesn't meet the kids. And that's how I would look at it. If you continue having a relationship for years in,
right,
then yeah. But that just works for their dynamic. It depends on who's who.
Right.
But if I had to put a rule, like he puts a rule, like Steve Harvey was to put a rule, my rule is after the year. Because kids look at the parents.
Right.
Look at the mom and say, is the mom happy? Then I love much of him or her as much as the parent loves the individual.
Gotcha.
So I don't think that you will run into an issue when it comes down to their kids. Now, if they're teenagers or preteens, you may run into that brick wall, but it's all depending on the parent. I met girls that have little ones, and then I met girls that had older kids, and I seen it. The parents set up there, hey, listen, I'm dating this guy now. This is, Mr. Pringle, Mr. Dwayne, and this what it is. This is who I'm dating, and they gravitated to me. And I set little rules what I'm not going to do because they are girls, or I set the rules, the foundation, and I let them know, and then we just ran it that way, and they was just as much in love with me as I was with them.
Gotcha.
And I think it just depends on the parent.
The parent.
That's why I kind of that book kind of just, I think that's really made for women to feel like they can be in that fairy tale type land, but sometimes it don't work that way.
You're right.
And that's why I say just wait, because what if you did invest in with the person and that person was like, y'all end up breaking up and they build the attachment to the child.
Right.
Then that hurts the child. That's why you have to be careful with that.
Gotta be careful.
So, what's next?
Oh boy, gotta be careful.
Gots to
be more careful. God dang it.
Because I think about it like that.
Right. So when I thought about this topic, and I was like, more career-wise, right? So I'm thinking, hey, if I'm sitting at a desk, when does the wall of reality hit? Especially when I feel I have no purpose of the position that I am currently at. And what kind of hits is when that spirit is telling you to move on. And I don't. Some of the times when it comes to the career path, because my last job, I was there for 13 and a half plus years. So the reality hits when you kind of start feeling, not to say the word depressed, almost like depression, to where you don't fit here. Like, this is not for you. This is not who you are. So when are you going to step out on faith and kind of pretty much grow or just find something new? Like, what is your plan? So these are questions that I have to ask myself, because, and I'm again only speaking career wise, like, why am I here? Why I'm just doing what I'm doing? Like, is this changing? Is this helping the world a better place? And I'm just questionable. So when the reality hits, like when the walls of reality hits, is when I get into those feelings of those emotions, as if I'm wasting my time, that I'm not here to better the world. That's all.
Okay. That's a lot.
That's a lot
in the corner of a career, right?
Okay.
So this the thing, and the reason why I say a lot is most people don't have an exit plan. So that's why they can't see the next phase, right? So until you put some work in to know what your exit strategy is, that's when you start walking in it. The other one is this: a job is a job that's supposed to pay your bills.
Facts.
You only clock in, let's say, 40 hours a week. That doesn't determine or should not deter your life. I think we're miserable because we always want more. We live in a society where everybody wants more and more and more. We have everything that we need.
You're right.
A roof over our head, clothes on our back, shoes on our feet, food on the table. Nobody says that you cannot indulge in the pleasures of life, depending on, who you are as an individual.
Right.
But we have over what we need. We got 7 cups when you only need 4. Or 3. We got several plates. We got clothes galore, shoes galore.
Right.
My neighbors and them got 7 cars.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
We do stuff in excess, like over what we really need. We got, like, girls, when y'all go shopping and y'all used to buy y'all accessories, y'all buy 10, 11 just to go with one dress.
Right.
And then you discard that and do it all over again.
Do it all over again.
We have too much.
Right.
So going back to it, when it comes down to careers,
right,
I just feel like at this point, or at a point, you should just be worried about working to pay your bills, but really forget your career. You know, because once you establish it and once it's there, that's all it is. You get what I'm saying? And nobody says don't reach for the stars, but it ain't for everybody.
Right.
You know? And so once you realize you got something, you have something, and it's good, then focus on something else, like family. You know, focus on establishing a future and with your family. Outside of that, that's all it is.
It's that simple.
To me, it is.
Yeah.
Hey, I just if I'm changing my career or I want to go in another direction, I'm only doing it just to make sure I save enough money. I be able to do what I need to do with my family.
Right.
I have a social life. Be able to help people out here and there, and that's all. You know, I wrap my money up. I do what I need to do, but outside of that, listen, I don't take my job home with me.
Right.
I leave it right there before when I clock out, boop, and I just move on to the next thing. What's the next fun event I'm finna get into?
Gotcha.
And that's how I look at it with that. But make sure you have an exit strategy.
So an exit strategy.
Yeah, exit plan.
Thank you.
And so I'm not gonna tell you at the end of the day, you know, don't want to do better.
Of course.
You get what I'm saying? But sometimes, like, I know this too, and this is why I say it's many topics on that particular thing. But also too, you can be in a great position, but you're just miserable. I got a perfect example. I knew a person that had a cake job.
Okay.
They can show up when they want to.
Hello.
They can leave when they feel like it.
Hello.
And they can leave early too. So they can leave, like go do shopping and then come back.
Right.
You know, and they can live a kind of like a free life because the person, the owner didn't make it hard.
Right.
But they left that job to go to another job where they have to work basically all their whole 8 hours.
Wow.
And then if they do have a lunch, it's probably just 30 minutes.
That 30 minutes to a hot hour.
And then when they went to the new job, they had to do more tasks throughout the day than when they were at their old job.
Dang, why the person left? Why you left?
Because they say because of the atmosphere. But if you knew how to eat the fish and leave the bones and know how people operate, then, oh well.
You wouldn't take that home with you.
I'm not. And I'm not going to leave something that's great for something that's like just more harsh, because I have a good life. And then another person that left trying to ask for more, they want to come back.
Dang.
So you leave from a great place to go to a misery to come back
again. Come back again.
Listen,
it don't work like that.
Nah, it don't.
Did they get the job back?
No, they haven't. They did it part-time.
Oh, okay.
They went back part-time a little bit.
Part-time.
Yeah.
Part-time.
So that's that.
All right now.
All right. So what I have next on my list of when does the wall of reality hits?
All right.
Is when you're not well accomplished. And it kind of coexist to what you had just mentioned with the careers.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just put it like this. Most people, to me, say, you know what? I don't think it's worth it later on in life when it comes down to being accomplished. So when you mention careers, we go for the highest paid job, the one that's gonna make us drive this particular car, live a particular lifestyle.
Right.
And when you find out that it's a lot of work, you be like, man, I need to switch it up.
Just put me in an RV.
And the best example I can use is nursing. A lot of women love the fact of making the money, but never understood what they had to go through.
Right.
So the pandemic really showed the ones that really want to be nurses, who love being nurses.
You're right.
Not saying their job isn't important.
Of course.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. But they found out it wasn't worth it.
Right. That stress level
was too much.
It was a lot.
So the people that had the heart, they stayed. The ones that were just in for the money, they left.
Right.
Because they could not handle the load. Mm-hmm. And so when they think about it, it was like, man, all of that stuff I was aiming for, like, cause I even followed some on IG, and I realized them jokers was not even posting about being a nurse no more.
Oh,
they stopped because of the pandemic,
right?
Because their heart really wasn't in it.
It was
they
for
was
the money.
yeah,
okay,
exactly.
I got you.
So what I so also that coexists with what I'm saying with not having an accomplishment of family goals. So with what I was saying, now they felt like family was more important. Friendships were more important. And even though I have had gotten this success in it, I just never could get to the point of like what else is fulfilling, what else is purposeful, what else has purpose in my life. And we noticed that the family goals wasn't reached. So they went to school for so many years. They kind of skipped out on, trying to have a family and, oh, no, I'm not ready to get pregnant or all that stuff. And then now they got the career. They don't have the family. So everybody that's coming to the office saying, look what my son or my daughter done made me. Right. For Valentine's Day, they received the little gifts from their sons and their daughters. Now, the women that don't have the kids, now they're like, man, I'm missing out on that attribute that is offered in life. Right. So I think that's when the wall of reality hits, when you starting to get older, setting your careers, and you accomplished the career, but then you didn't accomplish the other goals that is also in life.
Right. And
that's one of the things I think we realize. Yep, the wall. Go ahead.
So you kind of trigger something on me. Like, to me, for me, I wrote down control the time and the money. So when the wall of reality hit, for me, is when I'm not able to control my time and my money.
Gotcha.
And I'm really fighting for that, like, every day. And I'm doing it with a smile. So we're on this trying to, people try to be entrepreneurship, entrepreneurs on that path. So when reality hits, I'm still working for a corporate, went back to school, doing everything that I do. We already spoke about directory life, still living this directory crazy life. And I'm just trying to figure out, why am I taking all of this on? Because it was a weekend, this past weekend. My phone was going crazy literally every 10 minutes. In the midst of it, I'm really sick. I had an allergic reaction, honestly, like early that morning, around 9-ish, to where I wasn't myself until later 9 p.m. But in the midst of it, that phone was just going bananas. What I mean, constantly going. So I was kind of stuck in the bed, kind of just out of it on Benadryl, drowsy as hell. But it's just like, I can't control my own time. I felt like I was stuck. I felt like,
you a big baby.
Looking at the damn bank account again. All these emotions like really just came out of nowhere. Not to see if it's stirring off the conversation, but when reality hit, when I can't move how I want to, do what I want, do my money, time, everything, it takes me to another level to where all of those crazy emotions start kicking in.
So what I'm about to write down is knowing and learning how to adjust. Because this is what I always gotta say. Women, y'all complain about so much. And it don't be that big of a deal. You sick, you can't do nothing. So just go to bed, go to sleep until you feel well, and then you're able to do it. But you all sit down and just want to whine. It's like, it is, but you don't want to be grown. You know, you want to be, well, it's not that you don't want to be grown. You just don't want to stop moving the way you're normally moving because of the independent type of mindset and stuff like that. So I always will argue, like, God set us down for a moment in time so we can replay, like reevaluate, also to give our body rest. Because sometimes we going,
Right.
not realizing we're getting older. And then once you get sick, you're going to get sick. Because we're not taking care of our bodies even in between. We're eating unhealthy. We're indulging ourselves in things that's going to harm our bodies. And then turn around, you think you're not going to get sicker once you get sick. Yeah, that's just going to happen. So that moment in time where you got your allergic reaction, your butt just had to drink some Benadryl, probably, right?
Yeah.
And it just recovered that way.
Yeah.
Now your phone stand ringing, probably because you also stay running. So you calling people, you talking to people, you doing this, that, and the third. And that was just a regular routine. It just so happened to happen that day.
That I was sick.
Right. And that's when it's going to happen, at the most inconvenient time, right?
It wasn't a good day.
So the wall of reality to me, what I'm going to add, the wall, when do you hit it, is when you haven't matured at a certain point in life. Yeah, I think a lot of times our maturity level hasn't reached its peak until, let's say, the raw reality hits. And when that hits is when we don't have what we want, or what we thought we was going to be able to do, we realize we are not even doing it. So, and I mean, I'm not talking about career.
Okay.
I'm talking about, like, really internally, like the maturity that we want to possess, like the accomplishment. Like, I look at it like this: when we look at our kids and we find out our kids can't read, can't write, can't even solve a question, you're like, well, what? Okay. Like, I was smart when I was in school. What happened to you? I guess you get that from the other side, you know? So it's things like that. Also, too, we thought we was going to have a big house, the nicest car. You're like, man, I still ain't get it. I was working hard to get it, and you found out your butt was just paying your bills because it's just too expensive out here.
For other people's bills.
Or you're helping out so much other people.
Always helping other people.
But then we're around, because I think also, too, when we start watching other people, like, Instagram allows us to watch other people and see how far they are off. And we will say to ourselves, man, I want to get there. So I think that's when also the wall of reality hits as well. Or when the family goes lack. So you may lose a loved one, and then because you don't have enough in your savings account, you're not able to, buy whatever is needed to take care of your family. So, like, when you get older in life, this topic even talking about money. Okay. So when you get older in life, you realize, like, I don't have enough money in my retirement, or I don't have enough money to even afford my medication. And we'll never know how that feels, because right now we're healthy. We don't need the pills in order to sustain life. But there are some adults that's all they're taking to stay alive. It's 7 different medications. Yeah. Always going to the doctor. Right. And you find out your friends aren't your friends, and your family members was only around because of XYZ. Right. I think that's when the wall of reality hit. That's what that.
So I have a question, when can we realize, like, these are the red flags before we actually hit the wall? Like, are there any red flags that we're like, you know what, we need to pay attention like now versus hitting the wall, or do we really need to hit the wall and to actually kind of mature to the next level? Like, what is your intake on that before we go forward?
So, the red flags of life, we're not going to pay attention to anyway because we don't think it's going to happen to us. But the ones that do, I think they think about it like this. Whatever my parents is going to go through, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to go through the same thing if I'm not careful to change the dynamic. Right? So, health-wise.
All right.
Like, I know a guy said his old boy passed away because of a heart condition. Right?
You're right.
So, he worked on not doing the same things his dad did.
Facts.
Financially, some people I have, like shows I have watched, because their family was poor or didn't have much or was only just living check to check, they made sure they put themselves in a position to be off well and be able to take care of their folks as well.
Right.
And working hard, that's one attribute that they end up like taking on. Kids, what is your goals? If you want a family, you should be working on a family. And nobody says there's a cutoff or a start or a cutoff time. So, for example, I'm going to use this. Women, moms will tell their daughters to go off to school from the age of 18 to 27, let's say, or 28. Your mom will teach you, just as an example, your mom would teach you, go to school and don't get no boyfriend. Don't worry about a relationship. Right? They're teaching men are no good. Right? You don't need a man. You could do this thing by yourself. Right? So they make you put on this heavy responsibility. So you'll grow up saying, I don't need a dude. I'm going to go and get my education. I'm going to do all this stuff. I'm going to make the money. And then all of a sudden you get the degree. Right? And you don't work on having a child, right? Or establish a relationship with a dude.
Right.
Now you get older. Now nobody's at 25, they hollering at you. 30, it slows down. 35, ain't nobody looking your way, right? You get what I'm saying? And then the older you get, the worse it becomes, right? So so it goes back to what is your personal overall goal as an 18-year-old woman? Should you go out here and be a thottian, right? Or should you sit up there and work on having a relationship or building something with the individual? And like for guys will sit up there and they will work hard, like from the ages from 18. It depends on what type of dude they are, right? Some guys go to college. Well, most guys know they can't just sit home, smoke weed all day, play video games all day, just chill with the boys all day, unless they have nothing to contribute to life. Right. But the guys, I would say most guys know they need to put money in their pocket. But they have the struggle of finding a good mate. Sometimes like this be their harsh reality. Hey man, I wish I could just find a woman and settle down, but it don't be like that.
No. So, at my old job, right, somebody told me that their religion, I don't remember, that they were taught, the girls are taught to go to college to find their husband. So you go to school, yes, you get your degree out of it, but you're going to be made a housewife. So you find your husband in college who's willing to take care of you and your kids. And guess what? It works. It works. So she didn't follow through because she was in her 50s, if I'm not mistaken, late 40s, early 50s. She didn't follow through, but their history of their culture, that's how they do it. You have to go to college to find your husband. And you have to get married before you graduate. Like that's their plan. So,
and I think that should be the majority of people's plan.
I think so too.
Like if you're going out to college, you should be looking for a potential mate.
Yes.
and not just going there just to turn up. Because I even see it now with the ones that had the attention to marry when they were younger. Right. They're still together now.
They still together. I love that. God dang it.
So
I love it.
The wall of reality didn't hit them.
Nope, it's damn sure hit me. If I have to be real, it's for the birds. 2 is better than 1. Thank you for teaching me that. I'm learning that. I'm activated. Like, I told like 500 people this past weekend, 2 is better than 1. They was like, what? And for them to hear that from me, people kind of light bulbs kind of go off like, wait, you leaving this crew? I'm saying bye on that side.
But it should have been like
Guess what? God dang it, it's happening now. Okay? Don't take away. Don't do that. It's happening. What? But 2 is better than 1.
Right, but then that's when
that reality hit. What? Hey. Well, let me say I'm jumping on this side of the tribe that 2 is better than 1. I'm not officially sworn in yet because I do want to be married. Okay? But I'm realizing 2 is better than 1. Like, real talk. And listen, for them people out there who feel like, hey, I probably want to do this by myself, it's for the birds. It's not reality. It's bull crap. And please, if you have not yet learned nothing from Gemini Gemz, please take heed what DP taught us. 2 is better than 1. You know, the Twix, I need that.
Yeah.
I need that. But thank you, DP. I appreciate it. I love you. Because I'm happy over here. That 2 is better than 1.
Right.
All right. That's all. Hey, that's when that reality hit. When that reality, when you what? It hit. Shh.
But some should come sooner than later.
Sooner than later. I agree.
And once we focus on our reality, focus on our purpose, the reality will happen.
Right.
You know, of having what you want for yourself. Now, I think it's going to come a time where I'm not going to say money, but having a excessive amount of money isn't going to do good. It's going to be about family.
Right.
And I think COVID really showed that.
Yeah.
People began to have that spread it out life.
Right.
And then COVID brought them together.
Yes.
And I think if God wanted anything out of this, it would be together.
Yes.
Stick together, be a family.
Right.
Forgive, let's move on.
Yes. Less judgment.
Right.
Yes.
But until we realize that family is important as well as friendship.
Right.
We're just going to be out here in this world stuck.
Right.
Never get into the next part of life. Because even rich people that I can think of, most of them are married or in a relationship.
Okay.
You know, and for the long haul, they're not looking for temporary situations.
Right.
But and I think the poor people are feeling like they bossed up, but the rich people, they making it happen. They're getting married. They're making it happen. They want to establish generational wealth amongst their family, their kids. So it made sense for, like you say, that religion to preach to the young women to go out there and find a man that can take care of you. I think even some of the sororities, I think they teach their girls how to, what to do in order to sustain life, and that's to have a family. The first ministry is a family. Adam, Eve, Abel, and Cain. That was always what God wanted us to establish, a unity. He made 2, and of course we were built in His image. But to further along the conversation, or just bring it to a close.
Okay.
Our reality, the wall of reality will always hit. But before it hits, make sure you have accomplished what it is that you want to accomplish.
Right.
And I see it that way. What you got, T?
I want everybody to go get married by the end of 2022. I want everyone to say, oh my gosh, I got married. Like, I know 3 people. One person texted me their marriage certificate. I was not expecting that. Another one sent me the picture. Afterwards, and I'm talking about people that I was not expecting. And I'm over here looking like that's when I did reality hit. Like, girl, what you doing? We gonna get married. Oh, we all are. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Come on. That's what I want to conclude that with. By the end of 2022, I'm gonna be married.
Well, before they get married,
Everybody finna get married.
right. So before they get married, there must be stuff we need to establish.
We already established. We all are. Look at all the recordings that we done. I'm telling you, it's gonna help you get married by the end of this year.
Yeah. She be in loony. She be loony.
All right. That was just my laughter for today.
You a trip.
I love y'all.
You a trip.
I love y'all.
I'm your boy DP.
All right, y'all. This your girl T.
We Gemini Gemz.
Yes.
Geminis with the S.
Yes.
Gems with the Z. And what we do too.
Hey, y'all. We dropped them gems.
We dropped them gems.
Hey, if y'all only knew.
All right, y'all.